Hello, student. Hi. I'm sorry. It's been a whole week. I haven't returned to our meetings, and it's already meeting 11 for today, actually. But I will give you two materials at the same time, so you can keep up with the meeting 10 and meeting 11. Here, this meeting, for meeting 10, we are going to talk about reading comprehension, and then we are going to deal with previewing and reading for main ideas. Okay, so just go right away for reading comprehension, and then previewing and reading for main idea. Okay. As you can see here in your iLearn, there are several parts you are going to deal with reading. So for the beginning, we are going to study reading comprehension so that I can explain you the things that you need to know about reading and how to comprehend the reading. And then after that, we are going to deal with previewing and reading main idea. Here you are going also to study skimming and scanning because it is very important in reading main idea. And after that, we are going to talk about locating reference, how you find out this pronoun refers to what noun. So you are going to learn that in meeting 12. And after that, we are going to deal with vocabulary and context. I divided it into two parts because there are four things you need to learn. It's about examples, antonym, synonym, and general sense. And after that, we are going to deal with making inference. Making inference means you need to find out the conclusion of the text while you will not find the right answer, the exact answer in the text or passage. So you are going to deal with concluding things, something implied that you need to find out, dealing with the questions. So we start with reading comprehension now. So you can see here, for reading comprehensions, there are some parts we are going to study. The first one is previewing. Previewing means learning about a text before really reading it. So it's before you read. You need to preview so that you can enable, you yourself can be able to get the sense of what the text is about and how it is organized before reading it closely. So you can find out what is it about before you start reading the whole text. The simple strategy includes seeing what you can learn from the head notes or other introductory material, skimming to get an overview of the content or organization, and identifying the rhetorical situation. So here you can do skimming to get the overview. You can also get some clues from the head notes, so you can find out what actually the reading talks about. Then contextualizing. Contextualizing means placing a text in its historical, biographical, and cultural context. So we deal with what is actually the context of the reading passage. So when you read a text, you read it through the lens of your own experience. Your understanding of the words on the page and their significance is informed by what you have come to know and value from living in a particular time and place. But the texts you read were all written in the past, sometimes in a radically different time and place. To read critically, you need to contextualize, to recognize the differences between your contemporary values and attitudes and those represented in the text. You know, when you read the passage, it means it has been written before in the past. So you need to a little bit find out the contextualizing about the text so you can get understanding easily. And also to help you to read critically, just make sure you understand the context and then you recognize the differences between your contemporary values and attitudes with those represented in the text. Because if you less in reading, your lesson reading. So your experience about this context is lesser. So that's why what you have to do is you need to know more, you need to read more so that you can get more experience. Then we go to questioning to understand and remember. Asking questions about the content, it is very important. As students, you are accustomed to teachers asking you questions about reading. So these questions are designed to help you understand a reading and respond to it more fully. And often this technique works. Why? Because if no one asks you about your comprehension by questioning the questions to you, seems like nothing can measure your understanding about the passage. So that's why it's very important to write the questions anytime, and after that try to understand and remember that so that you can understand more about the content. And then 4 is reflecting on challenges to your beliefs and values. It means examining your personal responses. So you are going to have your personal responses regarding to the passage you read. So it's going to be different, each of you, even though it has the same point of view in general, but specifically how you say it, how you deliver it, it will be different. The reading that you do for this class might challenge your attitude, your unconsciously held beliefs, or your positions on current issues. As you read a text for the first time, mark an X in the margin at each point where you feel a personal challenge to your attitudes, beliefs, or status. So you can just leave X when you find a text, a sentence, some sentences, or a paragraph that actually challenge your attitudes and beliefs or status. So it depends on you. Make a brief note in the margin about what you feel or about what in the text created the challenge. Now look again at the places you mark in the text where you felt personally challenged. What patterns do you see? Remember, when you read a passage, make sure you understand for each paragraph consists of topic, sentence, and supporting details. So you need to know it starts from the general into specific. There are some cases or issues in the text maybe that can challenge you to know more about what it is about. So you can just leave mark an X in the margin. So it can help you to understand more. Then outlining and summarizing. It means identifying the main ideas and restating them in your own words. You cannot just copy and paste the whole text without outlining, without summarizing it. Well, there are several things that you can do instead of summarizing. You can also do quoting or paraphrasing, but it's easier for you to just do outlining and then summarizing by restating the main ideas. It's actually helpful for you to understand the content and structure for a reading selection. Well, you know, sometimes the outlining reveals the basic structure of the text. Summarizing synopsizes a selection's main argument in brief. Outlining may be part of the annotating process or it may be done separately. So it depends on you. Better you do outlining and then you start with summarizing. It's easier for you to find out the points for each passage, for each paragraph in the passage. Then we go to evaluating an argument. After you finish with outlining and summarizing, you are going to test the logic of a text as well as its credibility and emotional impact. Well, it depends, yeah. Not all writers make assertions that they want you to accept as true, but it depends on you whether you accept that or not. You can argue about the reading, you can argue about the passage. You can agree and you cannot agree. It depends on you. It's just how you look this reading or passage with your own point of view. It's gonna be different each of you. So that's why the more you read, the more you get more understanding and the more you get more experience about how you are going to deal with the context of the text. Then comparing and contrasting related readings. So this is what I say to you. When you are less in reading, you are not going to have several references or sources that you can compare or contrast with the reading you have read. So it's better for you to read more so that you can have references or sources that you can compare and contrast later with the passage or reading you have right now. So it's easier for you exploring likenesses and differences between texts to understand them better. Why? Because in literary work, like in literature review, you need to have some references that you can compare so that you can find out what actually this is about, and you can see in different perspective. So it's better for you to read more, and then it's easier for you to compare and contrast about the readings, still with the related readings. Okay, so I think that's all for reading comprehension. Okay, and then we are going to start our lesson with previewing and reading for the main ideas. And also we're going to deal with skimming and scanning. Thank you for listening, and I hope you understand. Anything you want to know about reading, just ask me right away in the group. Thank you for today, and then good luck. I'll see you in the next lesson.